Welcome, nerds, to another episode of the Nerd Rundown podcast, where we cover the latest in the nerd world of movies, TV, and more. We're the Father Time Nerds. I'm Father Darren.
I'm Father Hair.
and
wasn't expecting that. I am Father Morgan, aka Big Papa 3000.
Hell yeah. Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening in. You can find us on social media and YouTube at the Nerd Rundown. You can also listen to our podcast on all the major podcast services. We have a fantastic show for you all today, where we'll cover the latest news on the rundown. And for our special segment, we're going to cover this weekend's worldwide event, DC Fandome, where the comic company showed off all of their upcoming slate in the comic world, TV world, movie world. But we're just going to stick with the TV and movie stuff, as I don't believe any of us are into DC Comics these days. But definitely the TV stuff and the movie stuff is very relevant to what we do here on the Rundown. And so let's get to that rundown, as Eric's cat called. And first on the rundown, we had a Scream 5 trailer released. Ghostface Kill is back. right? I'm gonna start off with you, Morgan, and get your thoughts real quick on what you thought of the Scream 5 trailer.
The screening of the Scream 5 trailer. I'm excited. I enjoyed all of the Scream movies. The first one, I remember seeing that for the first time, and it was kind of groundbreaking in that horror genre. Looks good. I mean, poor Sydney. that poor woman. Just some of these guys are just crazy, man. No, I'm looking forward to it. It feels like it's got that typical Scream vibe. I'm excited to see how they work in cell phones more, because I would always joke if they had cell phones during the first Scream, a lot of the problems would be solved.
Right.
I'm looking forward to it. I know there's some good actors in there. I like that one. I'm going to call him a kid, but I know he is probably not a kid. He's from 13 Reasons Why. I can't think of his name. He plays the main kid that's trying to figure out what happened to the girl while he's listening to the tapes. I was really hoping you guys would remember the name.
No, not ringing a bell.
Dang it. He was in the Goosebumps movie. He was in the Goosebumps movie. Did anyone watch the Goosebumps movie? Come on, guys, you're killing me.
No.
But I enjoy him in movies. He's a good up and coming actor.
I bet you do. So, Eric, what did you think of the Scream 5? Scream. I don't know why it sounds so funny coming out of my mouth. Limit. Road.
I'm morbidly curious about this. Morbidly curious. It's like, I guess we're out of ideas. Hollywood is completely out of ideas at this point. But I say that in all seriousness. I actually am excited to see this movie. I'm not a horror fan. Like, I don't like horror movies at all. But I have always enjoyed the Scream series, and I think the fact that it doesn't take itself too seriously, and it actually pokes fun at all the things that people dislike about horror movies,
very meta,
and never really, I think that's the part of me that I enjoy the most. So I really do. So Nev Campbell, Courtney Cox, both of them, they look good, and David Arquette. His character, the Dewey character, and I think the part that I struggle with the most is how great a job the Wayans brothers did with
I was just
scary movie
Yep.
stuff.
I was just thinking, Dewey. I mean, it looks just like David Arquette too.
Just like
I can't help but take it out.
To kind of go back on our James Bond episode where we talked about how good Austin Powers was, you know, the scary movie franchise, you know, with
I love Scream too.
Anna Faris, you know, Anna Faris was so good in those. So
Scary Movie 2 is
I want to see it.
One
I
of my
want to see
favorites
it because I really do love Scream, and we talked about it during our '90s episode. That Scream was one of the best movies of that year. It really was, because
not just horror movie, but like total
movies. Because it really took a lot of people, especially people like myself, who are not horror movie fans, and pulled them in, and you know, you had a whole new set of audience.
Saved the horror movie.
Absolutely, absolutely, yep. And by having, you know, and Kennedy, what's his name?
Jamie Kennedy.
Jamie Kennedy's character was so great in that, because he played that, okay, you can't do that stuff because the rules, horror movies have very specific rules.
There's a Mr. Exposition guy, really.
Right. And he was fantastic in that role, and it was great. You know, and we got Matthew Lillard. We just got a bunch of really great characters in that. So yeah, I will see this for sure. Like I said, morbidly curious. Like, it just
definitely. And so, you know, this movie, it definitely gives you Scream 1 vibes with the opening, like it kind of almost parodies. Parodies to open up the trailer, like you know, the first Drew Barrymore scene in Scream 1.
Yeah.
So it has that vibe, but other vibes, and I thought you were going down this path for a little bit, but it does worry me a little bit, because there was another trailer released this week, which I would probably get divorced if I put it in the rundown, and I won't even say the name of it, but it is a remake of a classic Christmas movie.
Oh yeah.
That almost feels like you cannot remake that.
God,
and it worries me that you're seeing more stuff like that. Remakes, you know, do we need a Scream 5 movie?
Well, and it's not even called Scream 5. It's just called Scream.
I thought it was called Scream 5. Either way, we're getting down that scary path of you better not remake Back to the Future, because that'll be the end of Hollywood, because I'll be burning it down after that, and I'll go to prison for life for that. So that worries me. But also, I'm really excited because the trailer was good. You know,
and I feel like
Scream is good.
Right. Yeah. And you know, that Scream's whole thing is almost picking on itself. So you know they're going to do that.
Yeah. With
this here we go. Here's another Scream, another serial killer situation going on. Classic.
Right.
You know, I feel like they will. I just hope they do it right. David Arquette, like, he seemed like he was going to do a really good job. Something about the way he was acting in that trailer of just this roughy, like,
they got divorced, right? Courtney and they're divorced, so it must be in pretty amicable. Really doing well in the talking tonight.
Where they're both really hard up for cash, and
I don't know what David Arquette has done in a while, but
but it also brings up. Like, it always makes me think, like, this is like the one thing about Scream that I don't like. I mean, shoot the dude. You know,
I'm gonna show something on my screen. Can you? That's the kid.
Oh,
so look at all familiar.
Yeah. What's his name?
Him.
Dylan Minnette. Thank you.
Yeah. I always get him and Logan Lerman mixed up. Okay. Well, as it gets closer, we'll talk. Maybe we'll get to maybe we'll get another trailer, or we'll get some reactions out of it. We'll talk more about it as we
do a bigger segment. Maybe do a Halloween.
Yeah, well, we're doing a Halloween episode coming up, and I'm sure Scream will be a part of that episode. All right, next on the rundown, we have M. Night Shyamalan's Ding Dong's new movie, announced. It's called Knock at the Cabin. No story details revealed, but M. Night Shyamalan getting another project, original project. Eric, you talk a lot about M. Night Shyamalan on the show. I know you're a big fan of his.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I mean, other than the title of it, I haven't seen any synopsis or anything other than, you know, a knock at the door or knock at the cabin.
Knock at the cabin.
So, you know,
feels like it will be a scary movie.
Yes, yeah, he very much likes that thriller type genre of stuff, and I think he's moving darker. It seems than his last few selections, just as producer, have been very darkish films, more horror than anything. So we'll see. I mean, the beauty of M. Night is you're going to get something you've probably never seen, or at least a twist on something. No pun intended. A twist, you know, because that's his. What's a twist? His deal is that he's always got the twist, you know, or whatever. But yeah, I mean, he's a great content provider, you know, to at least from my perspective. Like, he's a good creator, he's a good type of stuff. So looks like we may have lost Darren there for a bit. I think he may have dropped out. So what did you think?
Finally the weak one is gone.
Yeah,
no, he's right there.
He's got the soft internet. So yeah. So what'd you think, Morgan?
So I am a big fan of M. Night as well. I did not watch his latest yet. I will be watching it at some point this month because we're trying to watch, you know, Halloween scary stuff, and that is some sort of a thriller of what's going on as new and old.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'll look forward to seeing a trailer and seeing something about it. But I'm not going to pass any real judgment on it just because I don't know what it is. Yep. They haven't released any synopsis of it, no hint of what it is as far as I am aware. But I will say M. Night at the moment is kind of at a point where I'm not ready to go to a theater to watch one of his movies.
Sure. Yeah. I can see that. Yep.
Yeah. It's been a while since I went and saw Glass and the one before that, but that was just kind of rare.
Yeah, Split was great.
Yeah,
Split.
Thank you.
Split was really, really great, and even I really enjoyed Glass. I really did. You know, I thought it was a fun way to wrap up that series, if you will, and leaves the door open for additional stuff if you really wanted to, but at least for a couple of characters, it kind of wraps up their thread. So, yeah, I mean, I feel like Hollywood's better with M. Night doing what M. Night does. You know, he challenges the status quo, because like the one we just talked about, we're getting a 5th Scream movie. You know, and
right.
You know, other than that whole Unbreakable, you know, Split, Glass trilogy that he put together there, you don't get any sequels from him, you know, of anything. It's always standalone stuff. So
still waiting for his follow-up to The Last Airbender.
It's a long wait for a train ain't gonna come, bud. So.
Yeah, that one on the shelf for a reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, no details. Also, sorry, I guess I have shitty internet.
That's fun.
Jeez, come on.
Real struggle right now. It's pretty much a good analogy for my whole day, but looking forward to whatever this might be, and learning more about it. So he's a director that has a slate that, you know, we could even do a whole director episode around it if we really wanted to. So
right.
I mean, Unbreakable is like one of my all-time favorite superhero movies, and so for that,
absolutely. Just the use of color,
respect.
The use of color for each character.
Yeah,
in that.
Right.
I'm a big fan of superhero movies that can do an origin in a way that's just different. and unique.
Right.
Like the Chronicle movie that you've mentioned on here before that Father Harris still has to watch. That is a unique story of the telling of, okay, you can see how this could happen. That's what I liked about Unbreakable.
Cool. Moving on in the rundown, we have a new 1-minute trailer was released for the Hawkeye TV show, and showed a lot of the same footage. I would say maybe half. Honestly, watching it, this show looks fun as hell. I'm getting more and more excited for this with each show. The whole Christmas feel to it's like really like awesome.
Got that diehard.
It really does have like that diehard feel to it, and so.
And I don't know about you, but I you just can't help but love Jeremy Renner.
He was in a trailer that I saw today with Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights. What's his name? Kyle Chandler.
Oh, Kyle Chandler. Yeah.
I forget what the trailer was.
Yeah.
And I was like, he looks awesome in that role. Yeah. So he's a great actor. Looking forward to this show. I mean, again, it was a 1-minute trailer, but quick thoughts, Eric.
No, like I mean, I say the same thing you did. You know, like I said, I love the Christmas feel. It's very diehardish. You know, it feels
even maybe Lethal Weapon-y.
Yeah, to some extent. Yeah. You know, I love the buddy cop, you know, type thing. I love Haley. I think she's phenomenal. Not to mention not
adorable,
hard to look at. You know, so yeah, just great. I am really looking forward to this series. And you know, when they originally said that we were going to get a couple of new Marvel series, they were talking about Hawkeye and Miss Marvel. And it looks like Miss Marvel's going to slip. I mean, they've already said it's going to slip further into 2022. But man, the cast, the crew, everybody has so far in the trailers has nailed Hawkeye, and I am really, really excited to see it. So,
and speaking of the cast, real quick, the first trailer did not show Linda Cardellini's character, Hawkeye's wife. She makes an appearance in this one, so you know there was a lot of, you know, as there is after trailers released, theories abound, and like, oh, why didn't we see his wife? Blah 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 blah. Like, like it's some plot.
Marvel fans go a little crazy.
So they're like,
it's the same leaf I saw.
Put a shot in her.
We at least put this to bed, like before.
That coffee mug was in a different direction in the first.
Yeah, exactly. So, what do you think?
Hawkeye will be. I am looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to debate whether if it's a Christmas show or not when it comes out. So that'll be fine.
For sure, it's going to be a Christmas show.
It's going to be great. Yeah,
I have to follow the same rules.
The thing I like about Marvel and the casting that they did with the MCU is they took all these people that turns out they're all really good at comedy as well. That like I don't think they planned that, and then all of a sudden they realize, all these guys can be funny. This is perfect. And they've worked in the comedy real well that you can tell it's going to be in this. That it's going to be like a good buddy cop thing.
Honestly, now that I think about it, even like Benedict Cumberbatch has humor.
Really funny.
They're so funny. That's a great point, Morgan.
And I think that's the problem with DC. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but it's DC, really bad. It's really bad. So
and when they do what Marvel does, like Shazam, that's my favorite DC movie.
It's great.
Yeah,
you know, we're talking about grown people. Anyhow, we'll get there.
Next on the rundown, not confirmed yet, but worth talking about for sure. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, which is very debatable on this, but very widely considered maybe the best Spider-Man movie made. I'm a big fan of it. I know you are, Morg. I can't remember, Eric, if you've seen it.
I've not even watched it. My son has watched it. He loves it. So it's as far as I can.
And it was a movie.
And he's 5, so he's very critical. Very critically.
Well, he knows his nerd stuff, so just like Carson, for sure.
Yeah.
But it was a movie I was skeptical about, and put it off watching it till it was like on Netflix for free, and then I watched it and I loved it, and Penny loves it, so definitely glad to see more of this movie universe, this animated Sony animated Spider-Man universe. So that all we got was a rumor, and I'll let you know it very well, the story. But the title for the sequel is rumored to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. So go ahead, Morg, tell us how that.
Yeah, I mean, well, first I'm going to say, now that you said the words skeptic, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that word correct. After the way you said it. I'm thinking in my head, was that right?
Struggle bus for sure today. I'm going to struggle bus all day. So I'm going to mess up a lot of words today.
So I'm going to avoid that word as well, because now I'm confused.
Skeptical.
My guess would be is, for those of us that have seen the ending or have watched the first one, the way it ends with a cliffhanger, if you do remember, and involving some blue light. I don't want to get too much into it because it is on Netflix. You don't even have to pay to go watch it. But I would guess it's picking up pretty much right there.
Yeah.
I would think he's going to be getting into dragged into the Spider-Verse. And I would look forward to seeing him travel to everybody else's Spider-Verse this time.
Or they, because I want to see.
Or they, yeah. I'm hoping that.
Miles he's clearly the main character, but Jake Johansson's Peter Parker and Spider-Man, great Spidey for that story.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, I think I can honestly say it is my favorite Spider-Man movie. It was a big surprise, the first one. I thought it would be good and fun to watch, and then I was shocked when I saw it in theaters how good it was. I was shocked.
That's crazy.
Really, really good. So, any more I can get of that universe, I'll take it.
So tell us real quick how the title kind of came out this week with the guy posting the LinkedIn thing. Remember you were telling me about it? Yeah,
so it was something to do with the gentleman. Whatever he is at the studio or involved with the film, he's something high up. It was a LinkedIn issue where he shared something about the Spider-Man movie, but down a few lines down in his whatever it was, you could see there was a title for the movie. And it said Across the Spider-Verse on it.
Okay.
Which is something that you could tell was not meant to be shared. It was an accident, and somebody was able to screen grab it and get it real quick and share it with the world in 3 seconds.
Because the internet is forever.
So now that guy lost his job. I'm sure that guy's probably been fired now.
Right.
But we'll see. But who knows? We all know how Marvel is with not really giving away things until the time is right, and they deceive us and
could be
do what they need to do. Right. Who knows? Could be
misdirection.
A whole misdirection. So we'll wait and see, but it would seem right based off of the way the first one was.
And it's not like sense. It's a oh no, across this. Of course, it's we're going to see more of the Spider-Verse. So, I'm excited to. I think this comes out next year, right?
Yeah, it's in 2022.
2022. So I'm looking forward to it. Next on the rundown, we have some interesting news. Last on the rundown, we have some interesting news. Jack Ryan season 4 has been announced, and this comes out prior to even a season 3 trailer. So usually what this tells you is they've got something good on their hands in season 3, and it's going to have a carryover storyline that they're going to need it for season 4. So you know me on this show, my man crush, John Krasinski, all day, every day. And I'll do anything John Krasinski, I'll do. Cannot wait for season 3, but now knowing we'll get a season 4, give me more Jack Ryan, give me more John Krasinski. What do you think, Eric?
I'd watch him paint the wall.
Definitely. Him and Emily Blunt could, yeah.
Paint the wall together. It's you know what? Can't wait. Love Jack Ryan. Love Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
In all forms. I've loved Jack Ryan since, and this is how old I am, since the 80s, you know, in book form, and then in the 90s on the screen, and now here in the 2020s, you know, on the small screen. And it's great. Krasinski has done a great job as Jack Ryan. They've done a really fantastic job of bringing him into the 2020 timeline and using Afghanistan instead of, you know, using, the Cold War and stuff like that. So they've modernized the character to some extent, but still stayed true to the fundamentals of the character, which is that analyst, you know, type thing. Yeah. So 2 more seasons. Yeah. I'm good.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. How about you, Morg?
I'm thinking of checking the show out one of these days. I'll watch the show eventually. I have not. Not that I don't want to or anything like that. Again, that's agreed upon man crush. If they could mix in a little Chris Pratt in the show, then I'll be
that would just be like the best.
Yeah,
that would be the best.
That would be that with a little.
And they're friends too. I know they're friends too.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah. They do that. That one military challenge.
Yeah, the Murphy.
The Murphy. Mm-hmm. But no, I mean, I'll check. I need to watch the show. So that's all I have.
So you haven't seen any of it?
Any of it. I went to start it one time with Deanna.
How do I kick somebody out of a room?
Yeah.
Listen, I've been catching up on it.
Every time Morgan's on here, he's like, I haven't watched it. And he watches everything in the next
and then I watch it. All right. So should I watch this or Lost first?
Well, this is there's way you can get caught up.
Jack Ryan
in
first.
like 2 days in Jack Ryan.
Okay.
It's
I'll go Jack Ryan.
It's definitely more relevant.
Cobra Kai in like
I forget what it was.
A week.
Yeah.
Some of those episodes are like 24 minutes, like 22 minutes long, so it's a little bit easier.
No, I'll watch it, and it's something that I know I can get Deanna on board too.
Cool. Yeah, she'd love it. Anna will.
Yeah. Did you watch
Banana?
Morgan, did you happen to watch she was the one with Claire Danes? Homeland. Homeland, where she was the CIA.
I did not. Okay. Which is funny because that's something Deanna actually watched a lot of.
Okay. Well, if she liked Homeland, then I think she would definitely like Jack Ryan for sure.
I mean, she'd watch it just because it's Krasinski.
First few seasons of Homeland.
Yeah, especially the first few seasons of Homeland.
I mean, season 1 of Homeland may be the best overall season of a TV.
Really great show.
I mean,
that's a show.
I'll watch
that's
it.
An episode theme.
Okay, because I know Deanna will get into. I mean, Deanna watched 13 hours without me.
Yeah.
Like she watched that before I did because John Krasinski was in it. And she told me, she's like, "Oh, have you seen 13 hours? It's good." And I'm like, "You watched that without?" I was very upset she watched it without me. I was like, "You just watched that without?" I've never once had you go, I'll watch a military movie with you. You watched 13 hours without me. I was like, what?
That's probably because she saw John Krasinski, all buffed up. She saw Liev Schreiber's brother.
Yeah.
Pam's first fiance from The Office.
What's his name on there? Anyway, more John Krasinski and more Jack Ryan. Please.
For sure.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
Cool. All right, let's get into the DC Fandome and cover kind of some of the highlights from it. Give some quick initial thoughts. First thought right off the bat was this felt a little bit like of a letdown. Marvel does these big things and it's just like blows the roof off the top every single time. This one, it didn't have a lot of, there's some good stuff that came out and we're going to talk about it, but a little bit of a letdown. But COVID's really put a big dent in kind of a lot of these projects, and so
right.
They didn't have exactly what they probably wanted to have, but also, it's not like this is an annual thing they had to do right now. They could have waited a little bit longer, I guess, but either way, because last year's took place in August, so we're in October now. It's not like they have a set date every year that they have to do this by.
Right.
Anyway, what'd you guys, overall quick thoughts, Eric?
I feel the same way. It's hit or miss. There's some stuff in there. There's some stuff in there that I loved. I'll be honest. There's some stuff in there that I really loved. There's some stuff that I was thinking was one thing, and then now I see the newer one, and I'm like, maybe not. And then and then there's stuff that I am like, okay, we'll see how that goes. So and we'll talk about it as it kind of we kind of break through things. So we'll just as we go. So Morg, what about you?
So I go into it a little biased when I hear DC, so I'll admit that up front.
I feel you on that.
I would say out of this, you can tell that they went into it like all that anybody's going to care about is Batman anyway. You know what I mean? Like, let's do that.
I feel like that's our thought on like every single thing.
Like it's Batman. And I will say, there's two things that did excite me out of there. That it's I'll say it now because it's not on the list here of what we're going to discuss, but was the Suicide Squad game and the Gotham Knights game. They had two trailers, one for each.
I was going to talk about the Gotham Knights when we talk about Batman, just so you know it wasn't.
So I won't go too far into that.
Yeah. Well, no, we can.
Well, let's just get going. Let's just
all right.
Let's do it. So we're going to do it a little bit differently. We got a list of the things we'll cover. The first few released actual trailers, so we're gonna watch those and react to them while playing them, and we'll talk about it a little bit afterwards. Some of the other stuff like Shazam, Aquaman, they didn't have actual trailers. They had video footage of like behind the scenes and interviews with the cast and crew. I didn't feel like we need to show that kind of stuff, but we're gonna start off with the Batman trailer and react to that. So let me share my screen here.
I gotta be over the top like all the people on TikTok and Instagram when you watch the react videos. I need to cry. I need to.
All right, and so we're smartening up on the rundown here. We're gonna have all three of our faces playing. And again, please, if you haven't watched this trailer, unpause the rundown, go watch the trailer and come back to this, because you don't want your first viewing of us talking over it and doing that kind of thing. So, can you hear it? I can't hear it.
Maybe turn the volume.
Oh, you know what? Maybe this is why, because Eric, you're the host.
Yeah.
I think for the audio, you have to do it.
Well, when you did that little test run earlier, we heard it.
You heard it?
Yeah, and your test one run earlier.
When you did share screen, did you select share audio?
Oh, you know what? I didn't. Let me redo this. Amazing.
Rough draft, folks. We did practice this before, but
there we go.
Oh, I guess.
Now I just see your desktop. Yep. Any personal information we want to give to everyone?
Oh, guys, seriously, let me redo this. I'm so sorry.
It's so weird. They have a Batman movie start with a rain.
Yeah, so that's
rainy dark alley.
That's this movie is heavily influenced by Seven, because the filmmaker Matt Reeves is a big David Fincher.
Fear.
That's where
if we tell you to pause, will you pause it?
When that light hits the sky,
You want me? Yeah, I can do that.
it's not just a call. It's a warning.
I like that. Right there.
I like that.
I like that he gets shot.
Yeah.
Because that's
But it's
something that
also
the other.
I don't know what he said.
What were you? Because you're saying, Aaron?
In previous iterations of Batman, despite the prolific amount of guns in America, they never shoot Batman. You know,
I don't care what happens to me.
It's only gonna get worse for you.
He gets shot a lot next year.
Yeah.
Iceberg Lounge.
That's Colin Farrell.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Great.
Maybe we're not so different.
Zoe Kravitz is.
Who are you, Aaron?
I mean, she looks so much like her mom.
Yeah, that's. I love that.
Monet, Rachel Monet, is that her name?
Vengeance.
That has a very Darth Vader Rogue One.
I think Paul Dano is just going to murder this role. That's the Riddler.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do I feel about Andy Serkis?
I do feel like that's a little corny for this.
Yeah.
But
I like the retro.
I like that scene.
yeah, the retro, that like
But that Batmobile's a old Charger, isn't it?
Yeah, it just looks like it looks cool, but it's just like a regular car. You know, like we've been seeing these more sophisticated Batmobiles.
Yeah.
I like that it's just kind of a.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry about the terrible screen sharing, everybody. But okay. So
At Morgan.
Okay. So I will say I am still excited. It has not made me less excited. All right. I like that.
I feel exactly what you're feeling.
Yeah, no, it's hard to explain. Like, it's good. I feel like the trailer almost wasn't quite well put together. Like, it was just, they didn't flow right. They were like, you know what? We just got to show these guys like a bunch of stuff. Like, he does fight. He does do. We got to throw this in there so they know that this stuff happens. And they kind of just did it and tried to mix some music. But I mean, Catwoman. Oh God,
Zoe
what the heck is her name? Zoe Kravitz. Thank you.
Yeah.
Selena Kyle.
She seems like she's going to do a really good job based on what I've seen in the footage of the trailer.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's Batman. You can tell that he is an angry Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's new. He's not. I mean, the Riddler when they show him in the print, it looks like he talks to him for 1 second. He's already punching the glass because he's just angry and like trying to scare him. You know what I mean? Like, not the thought out detective Batman of let me think this through and how to work you and get what I need from you. Colin Farrell has said that his role is very small in the movie. So I feel like everything we see of him in the trailer is it. Like that. I'm guessing the shot of him looking out the window all the way to the car chase that's his scene. It's Batman coming after him in the Iceberg Lounge, so
yeah.
I've read too that I guess this Riddler is supposed to be a Saw-like character, or a Jigsaw character where he's putting these people basically in traps. Welcome back. I don't know. I am excited for it. I think it'll be good. Everything I've heard is good. It's supposed to be a very noir storytelling murder mystery compared to action-packed Batman. And I think I read somewhere that they said you actually don't see his Bruce Wayne that much. compared to the Batman persona in this movie. And the idea is he hasn't really figured out, I need to be a billionaire as well. He is at that stage of, I am just here to be angry and mess things up. So I'm going to be Batman as much as I can.
Well, that plays into the year 2. That plays into the year 2. This is supposed to be year 2 Batman.
Right.
The other night, Banana's like, what does that mean? It means he's in his second year.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Sophomore Batman.
So no, from the trailer, I got all those vibes that they are.
Everybody knows
that it's going to go what
jerks.
they're going for. Yeah, everybody's. I am excited to see him use that. I don't know, that like the sound thing or whatever it was.
Yeah,
like I'm thinking it was emitting a sound or something. I don't know if he was being electrocuted.
Oh yeah, no, he's tasering him.
It was a taser.
Yeah,
okay,
a taser. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm excited to see him use stuff like that. That'll be fun. And that armor, man, like that's some high grade armor. He takes like 50 machine gun round at least.
He's like not even.
Yeah, not even like ow. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Shoot me, you're dumb.
So Paul Dano plays the Riddler, and this is the first time we've seen the Riddler.
I think we're losing Darren again, so
we'll go with you, Eric.
Yeah, let's. I'll go. So, I feel differently than you guys. I'm less excited. I'm less excited to see this movie than I was. That first Batman trailer that came out, I was like, "Oh, this looks pretty cool," And now I look at it and I go, "I don't know." Like, it's just, we talked about it before. We kind of alluded to the fact that there's no humor in DC at all. Like there's no
right.
And I mean, these are people. These are adults, grown people running around in tights, for God's sakes. Like, don't take it, like, take it seriously, but don't take it so seriously, And I feel like DC has just hitched their wagon to this overly serious portrayal of all of their characters, and it's got to be dire. It's got to be just, I don't know. So there's a lot to like. There's a lot to like in this trailer. I like the retro feel to it. Mm-hmm. I like this. It almost feels late 70s, early 80s ish, but not. I guess I don't like. It just feels like there's like multiple time pieces here. Like there's multiple time. This could take place in multiple time periods and stuff. Like it could be right now, or it could be late 70s, early 80s. That type of thing. I love the Batmobile. I love I love the kind of retro Batmobile. I love that it's not very flashy. That it's just a very practical car. That it seems to be what he's.
Sorry, guys.
No, you're good. I loved that scene. Like I said, it felt very Rogue One, Darth Vader-ish, where it's just this
in the dark.
It's the same. It's the same DP. It's the same DP.
Okay.
The guy who shot Rogue One is the cinematographer on this.
Yeah.
So I think that's very intentional.
So that's that I can see where that came from then, because that scene in the dark hallway looks very much like that Darth Vader scene, and I love that scene. And that really was one of the key points to Rogue One that really made me fall in love with that movie. Was just a 45-second 1 minute scene, and that's in that trailer, that was to me that was the best scene that was there. So I don't know, like I said before, I'm less excited to see this movie than I was with this trailer than I was with the first trailer, but I'm still excited to see it because
I think we're all feeling the same thing.
And
honestly, I think we're feeling.
And I don't have a problem with. I honestly was concerned that I was going to have a problem with Pattinson, but I don't. I really don't at this point. In fact, the cast, I don't think anybody's out of place. The only person that I think Andy Serkis as as Alfred. Maybe, but
I'm excited
but only because I mean, literally, you're following up with Michael Caine and Jeremy Irons. So and it's not that I don't love Anthony, and it's not that I don't like Andy Serkis. I really love Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
I think he is a phenomenal talent, and it's a shame. It's an absolute shame that Hollywood hasn't recognized him for his talents in the stuff.
Oh yeah, he's unbelievable.
Yeah. I know.
His motion capture.
This Alfred, he looks like a badass. He's got
he's got that scar.
Scar. So
yep. So we'll see.
I think we're all feeling the same thing. Like this trailer, I was expecting a better trailer. Doesn't mean I'm still not going to go see it. Doesn't mean I'm not excited for it.
Well, coming off of our trailer episode, where we talked about our favorite trailers, there's a lot of bombs in there. There's a lot of bombs in that trailer thing where we were like, yeah, these are great trailers, but then the movie turns out to be, not good.
Shit.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, exactly.
Eric's a little gun shy after last week.
Yeah, last week I went a little. I'm surprised. I'm surprised our number one fan, Mama Stimple, didn't hit me up.
I don't know. She got
I
through
do
the
apologize.
2.5-hour episode.
Yeah, right. She probably didn't get through it. So
I'll say too with this trailer. So there were some important details in the trailer itself of DAs, commissioners that I would guess are dead or being exposed for whatever. There's some good detail in this. I think part of the problem with the trailer, as well as, do we have a rating on this movie?
I'm hoping it's R.
I don't think there's an official rating yet.
Yeah,
and I think that's part of the problem with the trailer of. When you don't know if you're R or PG-13, you have to leave that trailer in a way that it could go either way. Yeah. Until we find out, and then once it's R, they'll do a red band trailer. If it goes R, they'll do that more intense trailer of like, okay, yeah, because the screening test that they did, a lot of the feedback was that people were saying that this is more of like a horror movie than what you're expecting for Batman. That this really is a thriller horror, and they said there's some stuff that happens in it that like you're like, oh man, like I was not expecting that, in a good way, not like oh crap, but it was a good way, and they said it was rather scary for a Batman movie.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, looking at kind of looking at the trailer and watching it, I feel like an R rating is not out of the realm of possibility, but from a practical perspective, there's just no way. There's no way that they're going to not PG-13.
Right. Because we're talking Batman. How are you going to? Yeah. Sorry, kids, you're not going to go see Batman.
Right.
That's
exactly.
tough. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. So
and they could do it PG-13. They could do it right.
I don't know that you can make this movie PG-13. The one that they're making, at least from this trailer, if you really want it to be the dark place that you're going to, don't know you could do that, with this.
And they could be doing it'll be PG-13, but then when it comes to homes, there's going to be the rated R cut that, that'll be released at home that you can watch, and it'll be a whole different movie, but that's, but at the same time that sucks if they do that, because that means they're going into it trying to make a film where they can show you less, even though they're supposed to be more, but they're just not willing to do that R rating. But like you said, it's tough because like when you think Deadpool, that was good, but Deadpool isn't really like a household. The kids are like, yeah, let's go see Deadpool. It's not like Captain America and Spider-Man and whereas and Batman, it's Batman.
I mean, Logan is again. Logan is a fan favorite. I mean, Wolverine is a. There were a lot of Wolverine PG-13. I mean, all the way up until Logan, and then you watch Logan, and you're like, "Holy smokes!" This is awesome, and I'm so glad that they went with an R rating on it for that story. For that particular story, because you could. Yes, you can soften him up, and you put him in the X-Men, and he's a softer he's a softer Logan. He's a softer Wolverine. And then a couple of the standalone Wolverine movies were not great. They were not terrible, but they were not great. The X-Men Origins movie was not good. That was a really bad movie. But the Wolverine one where he fights the samurai, I thought was not bad.
Oh yeah.
So
I think that was called The Wolverine.
The Wolverine. Yeah. Which was a fun movie. It was a fun movie. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was a fun movie, and so going into Logan with it, having that R rating was really, really it fit that, and to hear Professor X drop a couple F-bombs, was an Alzheimer's patient, Professor X, it was
and that's I think to stick with the Batman, I think that's what's nice about Logan and Deadpool. It showed that you can take these big characters and do a hard R movie and it will be successful. People are gonna watch it. If they made this Batman a hard R, they made it an R, it will do well.
I really think it will.
It will. I really think it will. And a doubt in my mind.
And watching this trailer, I'm hoping it is. I really am, because I think that's part of my trepidation and pause that I have on this is this looks really dark. It looks really sinister, and if you try and soften this and make this a PG-13, I think you're going to do a disservice to the story,
especially with the angered version he's supposed to be. I mean, that one scene where you see it looks like he's just wailing on someone with Catwoman in the background, and she
looks horrified.
She's just like, "Oh crap! Like you're gonna kill him, aren't you?" Like, I guess we're in this together.
Yep.
Let me make one last point. I'll probably get kicked out.
Yeah, we need to move to the Flash.
We spent like way too long here. Yeah. But there's hints of it. I don't think the Riddler's going to be. Well, obviously we have the Penguin and the Riddler, but I think there's going to be a third villain in here, and I think so as well. That very lightly is the Court of Owls, and the Court of Owls is like the coolest bad guy, one of the coolest bad guys for the Batman. They're like a New World Order, Illuminati type deal. They're always running things in the background, and they're also they're the villain in the new Gotham Knights trailer, which got a trailer for this. For this upcoming game, which I'm so excited for, and which is funny because I don't know why. Maybe it's because I can play as Nightwing and you can play as
the co-op.
So
you can be Batgirl, you can be Robin, you can
really fun game.
Agreed.
And great trailer too. That was a very
it was a good trailer. Yeah,
kind of coming off a conversation we had last week about video games having really good trailers.
And it's funny because the Penguin's a focus in that trailer too, and and he talks about how he's scared of the Court of Owls and what they really are, and so it would be neat if they are incorporated in the movie.
They're
not just the game, but
okay, so I'm we're all on the same page here. Like, we're excited.
We're all going to watch it, but
definitely had some vibes to it that or to that trailer at least, or that didn't really blow our skirts up, to use a famous Eric term.
Thank you.
Okay,
it's effective.
So
see if we can get through the Flash trailer.
Let's see. Is the Flash. So let me see if I can do this right. I am having
it's like a 40-second trailer.
Share sound. Yeah, this one's shorter.
Are we going to show the part where we see Ezra Miller?
Not.
Can I just say that, and nowhere in my life have I ever thought wearing a choker is
I know.
It's a good idea. Just
he's a weirdo.
He is. His introduction, but like, was just weird.
He's a weirdo.
Nobody in wardrobe was like, "Hey, man,
don't do that." Yeah.
He'll make more money than I ever will.
Here you go. Here you go.
Tell me something. You can go anywhere you want.
Michael Keaton.
Yeah, Keaton voiceover.
Any timeline.
Batman talking.
Any universe.
All day. We get a look at the new suit here. It's Flashpoint inspired. Flashpoint's a Flash comic.
Yep.
Fight to save this one.
Surprise.
You changed the future.
Bat cow.
Bloody bat cow.
Yeah.
And you changed the past.
Somebody.
Is that beautiful Batman cow from Michael Keaton's? There's two Ezras there.
Yeah.
We see
Two Ezras
two Ezras there.
So
and I'm assuming she's a.
And that's Supergirl.
Is she a variant?
That other girl's. Well, they're all variants because this gets into the multiverse of DC.
Did we see what he just unwrapped there? I don't remember that.
No, they cut away with that.
They cut away. They don't show it, but it's
got to be the Batmobile, right?
It's the Batmobile.
Yeah. It's got to be.
But which Batmobile?
It better be the.
It definitely had the outline of Michael Keaton.
Keaton's, yeah.
Yeah. Pretty cool little quick trailer.
Yeah.
The part we skipped over was Ezra saying they don't have a lot to show, but got a good look at the new Flash suit. Pretty cool. Definitely very cool to hear Michael Keaton's voice and then see his the backside of water, the backside of his head show up at the end. And a little tease.
Eighth wonder of the world.
The Batmobile there at the end too. So very excited for this movie.
Yeah, I am. But I like the tease.
Yep.
Again with the tease. I mean, yeah, it's good. And I did see somebody say the one Ezra Miller there, not our main Flash, the other one, that it looks like they did a close up of his suit and stuff, and you can see it. It looks like he's wearing a repurposed bat suit.
Yes.
To be a Flash suit.
So Andy Muschietti, the director. He shared a photo on social media on Instagram like a month or two ago, and it was a red bat suit painted in the Flash style. And so I think that variant of Barry, played by Ezra Miller, takes an old Batman suit and paints it, and you can see him painting the bolts on it. So we're gonna get the Marvel, multiverse madness coming up, even more so than what we've been getting. So we're going to get that kind of stuff in this movie, and it's going to open up DC's multiverse. And we're going to Ben Affleck's Batman's is confirmed to appear. Michael Keaton's Batman's, so it's going to have some variant type stuff going on.
The thing is I just feel like they're not going to go anywhere with it. Like, we're going to get this movie.
This is our distrust of DC,
That's it. It's we won't trust anything about it and everywhere else.
Totally. Yeah, but I'm excited to see
continuity.
Nobody does continuity like Marvel. That's for sure.
That's true.
All right.
Feige's playing chess. DC's playing checkers. So
that's a really good way of putting it. Let me pull up the Black Adam trailer here. So I was
gonna say they're playing tic-tac-toe, but we'll give them checkers.
Yeah, right.
All right, so now we're going to show The Rock's new movie, Black Adam. Very excited for this.
Yes.
Mainly because of The Rock, but this is also, plays off Shazam, which is a good, our favorite DC movie right now.
Yeah.
Here we go. And there is one of my all-time favorite beauty. Yeah. I could watch her paint.
Yeah. She's done
the rest of my life. Oof.
She's out.
Nope. I feel like I'm out of here.
I know. That's our cue to go.
I wonder who did the score for this. Or who's going to do the score.
Yeah, right.
Score.
Gotta go.
Yep. There's The Rock, his first superhero movie. All I hope that's
I do like that music.
Yeah, I hope that's the
That's a very powerful.
Yeah, it's like very godlike. Okay, so that's the last trailer we'll show, but I mean, they didn't show his face, which was surprising. And I know it wrapped filming not too long ago, so I'm surprised they didn't have a little bit more to show, but good to see The Rock in the superhero movie world. So what do you guys think? Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, there's not much there. That's a pretty awesome intro. You know, I mean, he totally vaporizes that dude.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
Yeah,
so
it's a pretty.
he's clearly got a lot of power there. You know,
Yeah.
so we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get it. You know, I don't know. Like I loved Shazam so much. I really did, and so having this be the antithesis of Shazam gives me a little bit of pause, because the one great thing, or one of the great elements of Shazam, was it was fun. You know, it was a fun movie to watch. It was not like super over the top dark.
That's our next thing we're going to talk about. Is
you know,
Shazam,
so to have Black Adam be the opposite of
Darker
that, I guess,
version
or
of
whatever. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. So, which is ultimately my, you know, and I'll kind of so far of DC stuff that I've liked right now, there are two things that I've really liked. I loved Shazam. And then the other one we'll talk about a little bit later is Peacemaker. So coming out of the Suicide Squad movie that they did. So and my main reason for liking both of those things is they're funny. You know, they're funny. Right. You know, and they don't, and it's not comedy. It's not comedy funny. You know, like it's but there's elements to it that you're like, really that was funny, you know, like that's and that's how you do stuff. You know, you ratchet tension, you know, action, comedy, release, you know, and then tension, you know, and that's how you go with this. With DC, everything that they've put out lately is just tension, you know, and then action, and it's like I don't know. I just
lighten up, Francis.
Like, yeah, for God's sakes, you know, it just is. I don't know. And so, and one of the elements of The Rock that I absolutely adore about the man is his comedic delivery is fantastic. You know, he's really, really good at being funny, and you know, you juxtapose that with his intimidating presence, you know, just the sheer size of the man, and but yet how he's able to kind of disable you with his charm, his charm, you know. And I think that's one thing we talked about with the Jungle Cruise. You know, we talked about the Jungle Cruise is the amount of charm that was in the Jungle Cruise movie between him and Emily Blunt was just ridiculous.
Off the charts.
Yeah. So
John Krasinski's in trouble.
Exactly. I hope
easy.
I just hope DC doesn't screw it up. I hear you. You know, and so I do want to see Black Adam. I do want to see The Rock, and I'm hoping that we get an anti-hero like the Punisher. You know, here I'm wearing my Punisher shirt. You know, but we get an anti-hero type Punisher guy who, he does bad stuff to bad people, but
or you could even say Venom. Venom's become a big anti-hero, and apparently fun movies. So
so
even in that,
but again, Venom doesn't take itself too seriously. At least
that's what I'm saying. That's
really
like it,
do it. You know,
Shazam didn't take itself so seriously. That's perfect.
I mean, I said it before. These are adults running around in tights. You know, like don't take yourself so seriously that you're, you know, that you. And I think that's again.
I want to get Morgan's.
Yep.
take, because we got a few more to talk about. But
right, no, it was definitely a cool teaser. I'm fine with them not showing a whole lot of footage if that means they're doing it right. Like I'd rather a little teaser if they're like, listen, we're not quite have stuff ready for a full trailer. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
The Rock, as we all agree, he's fantastic. The thing I like about The Rock too is he is sculpted like a god. So he looks like somebody that's right. Like he didn't even need the suit. He could just walk around and be like, that's right.
Yeah, because it's Shazam. It's like this giant, goofy suit.
I mean, he looked massive.
He did.
Stood up there.
Right.
Like he is a monster.
In that clip, if you go back and look at that clip, look at his thighs, like in that suit, like the
that's
they're like the size of my chest.
Right.
That's
man.
We'll see. I don't think there's going to be really humor in this. I think their plan is for this to be darker.
They came out and said there will be humor.
Okay, good.
To the level of the Shazam Zachary Levi.
Hopefully, it's the right kind of humor, not like Wonder Woman 84 humor,
right?
Where they're like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, that was a great intro to a bad guy, and I have to say this. I understand. I mean, you got to fight, but sometimes you just got to know when to put the arms down and just start bowing. That's one of the situations where you drop the gun and go, look. All right, I'm with you. You need help? What do you need?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you need?
Like signs out of the earth like that. I'm like,
when he just picks up somebody and fries them to nothing. You go, all right, time to sit down.
Yeah, I got you.
That Carl Urban's character in Thor. He's like,
he knew right away. All right,
he knew right away.
I just clean up around here. So then we got. Speaking of Shazam, good segue here. Shazam: Fury of the Gods first look didn't show a trailer. What it showed was the behind the scenes stuff. Gave us good looks at costumes and stuff like that. Definitely upgraded the costume. Great upgrade on the costume. I love the Shazam movie. The costume, it does take you out of it a little bit from that movie. So I'm glad they upgraded it and made it's going to flow or sync up with Black Adam's costume. And I do remember them saying like they did not have to pad the Rock's superhero costume. But I love Zachary Levi. He is to me, a treasure. He's kind of in that John Krasinski zone for me. His time as Chuck, I will forever love him for that. He's done some Thor stuff. He was Fandral in that. I love the guy. Mm-hmm. So great. There's some big names added this. Dame Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu. They are gods that are villains in this movie. So it'll be interesting to see how they are incorporated into this world. And in this, first look footage, they talk about going to many different locations. So the movie is expanding that Shazam universe greatly, which I'm very excited to see because there's some really great lore in the Shazam comics, and I can't wait to see more of this movie. Mm-hmm. What about you, Morg?
Yeah, no, the behind the scenes was great. The cast is great. Pierce Brosnan.
Is he in this one?
Yeah,
Black
he's Dr.
Adam.
Fate.
Yeah.
No, he's this one.
Oh, he's in
Fate, right?
Yeah.
He's in Black Adam.
Yeah.
Not
Wait,
Shazam.
Yeah, he's Dark Fate.
Yeah,
in
he's
Black
Dr.
Adam.
Fate in Black Adam.
Yeah, Dr. Fate. Yeah.
Not Dr. Fate.
Are we?
Or not Shazam.
Are we 100% sure of that? Because I seem to remember him talking about Helen Mirren and them.
Maybe he's
unless they were just using
crosses
him.
Over. Yeah,
unless they're just using him for that.
He's like the Doctor Strange of the DC universe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But I'm on the
well, that's a good sign though, because that they're working it together like that, and they have a way to cross it in well.
On the DC page, I don't see for Shazam. I don't see Pierce Brosnan.
Okay.
I'll look up the Black Adam. I'm pretty sure it's Black Adam.
Either way,
he
Pierce
was in
Brosnan's
the
gonna be
intro
involved
to
at some
that.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's even in like the search for the Black Adam, Pierce Brosnan, Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, it'll be big. It's going to be on a huge scale. I just hope they keep the charm and what worked well in the first one. I hope they keep that and they correct some of the things that weren't good about the first one and know how to really, now that they have something that I think they know is a hit, they need to do it right. And I'm very hopeful they will.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So I feel the same. Yep.
Yeah.
Just give me more of the good and trim out the bad. And,
You know who's in this movie that I absolutely love and Banana absolutely loves is Adam Brody.
Yeah.
From the OC. He's like my skinny dorky kid. Like I love any skinny dorky kid in movies and TV shows. So
sail away on his boat. Get a sail away on his boat called Summer.
Yeah, what is his name? Seth
Cohen.
Seth Cohen. God, I love that show so much.
That was a good show.
So in the same vein as Shazam, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom gave us our first look, and it's again same kind of director interview, Jason Momoa interview, showing behind the scenes stuff. Pierce Brosnan. But this is a movie even if we get a really great trailer, I'm gonna still just be like, meh. I will see it. I don't know if I'll see it in the theaters. It's just anything Jason Momoa, I'm like, kind of pause on it. And but it is good to see that they are amping it up for that one. This is another world, like the Aquaman world has some great lore,
They could do a lot.
They can do a lot with it, and it's unique. He's a unique superhero. So, what do you think, Eric?
I don't care.
All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Great analysis. Good breakdown.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care for this at all. I mean, I thought they did in Justice League. I was interested in the character, and I thought they did a decent job. But past that, I don't care. I mean, even though they have 70% of the world is covered by water, I think the rest of it is covered by whoever your favorite defensive back is in football. Bailey. That's what they always say. So,
yeah. There's a good Champ Bailey joke. Yeah,
Champ Bailey. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So anyhow, I don't care. I really don't.
This is what, again, this kind of plays into that theme. DC doesn't have the magic that Marvel does. Like anything Marvel puts out a 1-minute Hawkeye show and it's like nerd boner, it's just,
yeah.
DC does this whole event and it's just like, great. So everything's fine, So
DC Aquaman. I'm in the same boat as Father Hare over there.
I think we all are.
I am not.
Yeah.
I was intrigued by him when they introduced him, and then they gave him his own movie, and they just made him seem like a dumb jock. And I was like, all right. I was like, what is this? Like, there's more to him than this. Like, he was just kind of stupid in that movie, in his own movie. He was stupid.
Yeah.
And it annoyed me. Right. And again, it was like I felt like kind of like with Wonder Woman 84 that they were just trying to do like an overcorrection of the seriousness that we got to overcorrect it, but they just went too far.
Way too far, yeah.
And the fact that they don't really build a universe is another issue. That's why I'm like I don't know. I'm like
I know
I'll watch it at some point. I will.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I'll pay for this movie.
Right, and that's the thing.
It sucks because there's a lot of great actors in it too.
Exactly. With the Flash, I'm excited because they're doing this Flashpoint and stuff. But the problem is it doesn't seem like they're going to work in the other upcoming DC stuff. And
I get what you're saying. Like, so for example, with the multiverse in Marvel, you can tell that that's setting up Spider-Man. You can tell it's setting up Doctor Strange. You can tell it's setting up these other things. That Flashpoint movie is going to have huge ramifications. It's bringing back Affleck's Batman, Michael Keaton's Batman, but it doesn't feel like it. This Aquaman or Shazam.
They won't do anything with it.
Yeah,
right.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, there was no hint of anything with the, with the behind the scenes stuff. Now they could be, and they're really not hinting it, and it's going to be a total surprise, and it's going to bring them, put them back up there as a contender. You could have been a contender, but
I get what you're saying.
But
I mean, just spitballing it. Mm-hmm. Let's say it's your Star Trek. It's my Star Trek drop here. It's your Kelvin moment. We all hated Justice League. We all hated that whole series of Batman and Superman and all that stuff. So you get to wipe the slate clean with this new Flash and be like, none of that ever happened. None of that ever happened. Right, exactly. And now we're into this new timeline, and it gives us the opportunity to build it all new with Robert Pattinson's Batman, maybe, and or maybe we start with Black Adam and Shazam, and we slowly bring in the other pieces. Yeah. But that's not going to happen because we have a stupid Aquaman movie that they're already going to churn out, and you're like, that's not going to happen.
Hey, it goes back to DC doesn't have the plan. No. Kevin Feige's got it mapped out 10 years in advance of where he wants the MCU to go. And DC's, it's like that's like they started making these movies. They're like, okay, what do we do now?
Right.
Or what's next? We don't have that plan. Yeah.
And I'd love to be hopeful. And, admittedly, it would blow my mind if at the end of that Batman movie, Ezra Miller shows up. I would be shocked. I think if, something that tied it would have me very hyped. Like, oh, okay. So we are building and doing something now. That's exciting, but that's not going to happen. The Batman's going to be its own thing. Yeah. It won't tie in at all. It's going to be its own, which is okay. I mean, the Christopher Nolan Batmans were their own thing. I love them. Yeah. But yeah, Aquaman, I'm with you.
Marvel's kind of ruined it for us.
Going back to your previous comment about Hawkeye, like we're being excited for Hawkeye. The reason why I'm excited for Hawkeye is because I've watched 10 movies with Hawkeye in it. Yeah. And each movie, the character is more and more endearing to me, even though he's a smaller superhero character. Yeah. So by the time I get to 10, I'm not tired of him. Mm-hmm. He doesn't try my patience. He doesn't, he's not a stupid guy. He's not a stupid character. His Ronin character in Infinity War, I guess, or in Endgame was awesome. So now
love to see more of that.
Love to see more of that. But I care about the guy. Like at this point, they've built up such a good rapport and such a good backlog with it. Whereas they have no patience. DC has no patience to put together a coherent plan.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's the thing. You don't feel, spoiler alert at this point. It's on you. When Batman v Superman, when Superman, makes the ultimate sacrifice, I didn't care. And the reason I didn't care is we had one Superman movie with him. And then two, it's like, all right, this is his second appearance. He's coming back. Right?
They literally show it into that movie. Like at
the end of the movie, you know he's coming.
You didn't even let it carry out.
It's like I didn't care. Like I was like, well, good for you. I mean, that's awesome. You feel a little bit, but it's like, they're not done.
They didn't even let it carry out through the movie. Like they couldn't even just be like, oh yeah, we killed Superman. Like when listen, in game we all knew they were coming back somehow.
Right.
But Marvel's like, no, they're dead. Like we don't. And then sorry, they weren't like, oh yeah, no, they'll come back. Don't worry. Mm-hmm. They were like, no, they're dead. You'll have to see what happens.
Yeah.
Last move by Marvel with them.
So what's the next great movie on the list?
So it's actually not a movie. It's Peacemaker, the TV show. So if you watched the Suicide Squad movie, he was a good part of that movie. I think he was maybe third, fourth highlight of that movie.
Yeah, it was a good highlight.
I was just surprised that the turn he took in the movie.
Agreed. Yep.
Yep. It was just I didn't think I liked it at first, but maybe now knowing that this Peacemaker TV show, because we did not know if it was going to be before or after a prequel or sequel.
Yep.
Now we know it's a sequel.
Right.
Takes place like right after the movie. Really showing a good character piece here for
John Cena.
For John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, watching. So I mean, I loved. I loved the Peacemaker character in the Suicide Squad. I thought it was a great character.
Yeah.
I thought he was.
Might lose me here.
He was, we're kind of cutting a little bit in and out.
Yeah,
so
you seem to be back now.
Slack, but yeah, you look like you're back. So, I loved the character. I'm of all the characters in that movie, this one seems like the best one to kind of move on with a TV series. And I watched this character, and this is the best of coming out of the DC. DC behind Shazam, this character here feels good. It feels like a good character. John Cena is a gigantic human being as well. So he's got that intimidating presence, but it's completely disarming to have that stupid helmet on his head, and then have him carrying the Desert Eagle, and just his over the top, just this over the top overcompensation for whatever is going on in his life, whatever's happened. So meeting his father, I think having Robert Patrick as his dad, it looks looks awesome.
Yeah.
The
plays
rest
the
of the
T-1000 and T2.
Yeah, right. So Danielle Brooks. She plays Leota.
I'm excited for her.
She looked really great in the trailer.
Is that the blonde girl?
No, that's the African American gal. So
she's from Orange is the New Black.
Yeah. So she was really, really great in this, and so I just but I gotta say I'm looking forward to this because this feels Marvelish to me. This feels, and maybe it's because of James Gunn. Maybe it's because of James Gunn and his experience with it. And I don't know how much affiliation he has with this particular character, but
he's a co-producer on this.
Okay,
or executive producer.
and that feels about right. That that yes, they're doing a superhero thing, but it's not taking itself overly serious, and he's clearly got some psychological problems.
He's got some issues.
So, and it's going to be fun to watch this character go there, and I'm interested. I'm really interested. So back to what this whole thing is. Less interested about Batman than I was, but I'll still go see it. The rest of the lineup, okay. Black Adam, sure. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Shazam, yeah, definitely. I'm the success of this. And then Peacemaker and the rest of it, I could really, take it or leave it. Like, I'm not really interested.
Totally. Yep. Mark?
No, I agree. The Peacemaker show, I think will be good. And this is a common theme with DC as well, is they tend to do better cartoons and shows than they do with the movies. And you can tell because it turns out when you tell a story over time through multiple screenings of something, it's better when you really let it play out. And the way Peacemaker was in Suicide Squad, I mean, he's an ass, and it. The things happen in the movie. It's still decently new, so I'm not saying anything, but things happen in there where I think this show is really going to kind of question who he is. Yeah. And that's what they're going to go for. He's going to really examine
a little bit of a redemptive story.
Yeah. And I mean, and come on, I'm how can you not be excited about anyone driving around in a muscle car with an eagle as the passenger? Like,
yeah, that was a good scene.
That hugs you. Yeah.
Can you get my phone? I don't want to move.
Dad,
it's hugging me. Dad, get the camera.
I mean, how many times have I've been like a perfect picture with my dog or my baby girl. And like, I don't want to move. Take a picture.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah,
that was good. I'm excited. This the sidekick character that's going to be in it too. The vigilante. I'm not sure exactly what his story is. If he's a DC comic character, or if he's just for this show. But I think he's going to have a funny role in it as well.
Who?
Yeah.
The sidekick vigilante guy in the trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like hiding behind the dumpster.
Who that was?
Yeah,
right. Like
I looked him up. He's in a few of the Harry Potters. He was in Game of Thrones. He's done some things.
I was waiting for them to show the actor. Yeah.
Yeah, but they never show him.
They never did. So it'll be interesting.
I liked they brought the guy back from the Suicide Squad. Steve Aggie, I think is his name, but he's the nerdy computer guy, overweight nerdy computer guy. You know, I thought that was great. So this has a lot of cool, fun co-stars. It seems to me like there's a lot of good stuff that's going to be in here. So I think this is going to be. I think it looks good. I really do. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this.
Yep.
It was one of the highlights from the film
for sure.
Yeah. So there was a point in there that made me think about the Batman point I was going to make about the Court of Owls. The Court of Owls may not be the villain in that movie, but I'm hoping they like drop the hints about him, and maybe that's what they carry over into the Batman 2. And that would show me that they've got a little bit of a plan, you know.
Right.
Maybe not all of a plan, but part of a plan. Which the Guardians of the Galaxy quote, 20% of a plan.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
it's not a plan.
Maybe we're looking at it all wrong. And I will grant this. Marvel has done no pun intended, a marvelous job of weaving all these characters together into this tapestry of the Avengers and all this other stuff, and so everything links with itself. You know, maybe DC has made the commitment and they just haven't told anybody that they're just going to do standalone stuff, you know, and if that's the plan, okay, you know, like if there's like, hey,
although they have come out and said that it's not their main focus isn't standalone stuff, but some stuff will be standalone and some stuff will be within a.
So that's the problem. That's a horrible plan.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
That's a crap
either
plan.
go one or the other,
just,
but don't
threw themselves under the bus on that. So this is why they
paint themselves into a corner.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I would enjoy if they came out and said, "Listen, this new Batman is going to be a separate trilogy that's doing its own thing. You're going to get a unique story out of this." I'd be like, okay, I appreciate that. So I'm not like, oh, it's got to work into everything. I know I'm expecting a solid trilogy like the Nolan Batmans, like that. It's a solid trilogy that's not being worked into anything else, and I can accept it.
Right.
But they just won't do that. They won't. And we are all tainted by Marvel. I mean, I can't help it. They did such a good world building job that you can't. I feel like it's hard for me to not walk into these movies expecting more because of what we had with those.
Yeah.
And you know, that's just, it'll always be like that until they do something. Like I said, I'd be shocked if in these other movies Barry Allen shows up because he needs their help.
Well, yeah, and I mean. And if that's how you want to do it, like I said, if that's how you want to do it, awesome, you know. But like I said, if you've already got an Aquaman sequel in the can, and you're talking about another Wonder Woman, it doesn't feel like that's where we're headed. And you've got this Batman that looks the way you're doing a year 2 Batman. It just doesn't seem like you're
exactly
weaving those things together, you know. And at the end of the day, it's really bad, man. I mean, it's really bad that we that you have such great characters. I mean, because honestly, who gives a crap about Iron Man? You know, like nobody cared about Iron Man. You know, nobody cared about Iron Man. Nobody cared about Hawkeye. Nobody cared about Black Widow. Nobody cared about
exactly.
You know, I mean, it was Captain America and Hulk. You know, and that was pretty much it. You know, like that's
right. That's the ones that we know.
Yeah, we're like, I mean, and Thor. Like honestly, like the first two Thor movies, I cared nothing for that particular character. You know, but Marvel stuck with it, and they you know, and they brought it. So by the time we get to the Avengers, I'm like, okay, you know, like the Avengers was good, you know, but then it was a good entry point to more, and they just got better and better and better. But there was a plan there, you know, at least it seemed like there was a plan there, and they kind of built around that plan. So
exactly.
But DC just can't get out of its own way to be like, okay, here's the deal. You know, like we have these amazing characters. Everybody loves Wonder Woman.
Everybody knows these characters.
Yeah, everybody knows Superman. Everybody knows Batman. And it's like you keep stepping on your own dick every time, and it's like, God, just stop. You know,
and like even with Aquaman, when you hear Aquaman, like you laugh a little because you know you always think of the stuff, but then when you see Jason, like, oh, we got Jason Momoa, you're like, oh, all right, like. So we're getting like a tough Aquaman, and then they just start like,
Well, in Justice League, at least, you know, in the Joss Whedon Justice League, you know, and even the Zack Snyder one, I thought the introduction to you're good, dude. The introduction to Aquaman in that series, you know, where Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne goes after him and is like, you know, he goes into that town, and it was great. That was a cool entry point. And and honestly, that's how, again, they rushed it. They rushed everything that they did with the whole thing. You know, if you want Bruce Wayne to build a Justice League, you've got to be patient and let that play out.
Let that play out over multiple movies.
And they didn't. They didn't. You know, and it shows. You know, their impatience and their stuff, and so here we are. You know, here we are 10 years later, and we're still talking about, we're still trying to piece this together, and we have no idea where anything's going.
Right.
You know?
I want to wrap this up, because this episode we were trying to keep shorter, and I could tell we've already gone on really long on a lot of these.
You know, they announced Wonder Woman 3. We don't even have to talk about it. Like
it's
exactly.
After the second one, I have no hope for this third one.
Last point is Wonder Woman 3 is officially in the works, and yay. Like, DC, do better.
Who gives a shit? Yep.
And that second one was so meh. I could care less.
So it was maybe the worst DC movie.
Well, and that's terrible, because the first Wonder Woman was really great.
One of the best.
I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah. So they went from hero to zero real quick on that. And hopefully they can redeem themselves. So we'll see.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Yeah.
We'll see. All right. That wraps up the show for now. So see you later. We don't have any nerd questions nothing from the nerd box quite yet, or not quite yet. Literally nothing in the nerd box, but we love answering your guys' questions. So if you guys want to send in a ton of questions, please, we love answering them. We understand that we don't always have to have them. So, but we really.
You can always send in a controversial question of, like, you know, if I'm ever on a show, I can explain why Luke Skywalker might not be the best hero in the world.
Right. Golly,
I know.
Man,
I know. I'm glad Father Darren's frozen.
He may have. Yeah, he may have. Frozen. that may have frozen his heart. Had you?
His computer shut down because I said that.
Yeah, probably.
There's just certain things, but I guess maybe Eric will let you kind of close it out here.
Well, you know, we have good. we have good conversations, and this is, I think, something that we should probably kind of push a little bit further on, our audience and stuff. Like my Uncle Frank and I have really good conversations about like guilty pleasure movies and stuff like that. We talked about like Starship Troopers as being like a guilty pleasure one. We could dip into timeline movies. People ask all kinds of things about timelines. So one of the things Frank and I talk about is time travel. We talk about like the Terminator, the Terminator stuff and how that could be how some of that stuff has gotten better with age and stuff. So there's all kinds of nerd questions I know people have that maybe they're afraid to ask. And, maybe if you're afraid to ask questions because you don't want your name put on there, we can certainly do, anonymous type
and they could always send simple questions too.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I sent one was whose Batman would win in a fight.
Right.
Like it doesn't always have to be the most thought provoking. Right. I mean, and even that could lead to a 20-minute discussion. Where we know I'm right.
Absolutely. So, well, it looks like Darren may have frozen out on us again. But Morg, it's always great. It's always great getting together with you.
I appreciate it. I was honored to be here a second weekend in a row. So I appreciate it.
Well, shoot, it may turn into 3 because I am going to be out next week, so I'm not gonna.
Well, we know I'm more than happy to do it. So
nope. So we're I'll be out. I'm actually taking my dad and my brother and my brother's flying down from Massachusetts. I'm flying out from Colorado to go see my dad in Virginia. And we're going to go see the James Bond, and we're also going to see Dune. So,
cool.
That's
right.
Very excited about that. So, yeah.
All right. Cool. Before I get kicked out one last time.
Yeah.
I'm going to end the show. Sorry about all the problems. Like I said, it's been a struggle bus today. So, might as well go all out and struggle bus all over the place. Thanks, guys, for joining. The father
you pay that net zero bill.
Seriously. I feel like I'm on dial-up today.
Tell Banana to get off the phone.
The father time.
And no, he did. Wow. I guess he gets throttled at night. I don't know what the issue is there.
Terrible.
That's crazy. All right. Well, I'll say my goodbyes, and thanks for having me on the show. And Stump, if you could hear me, thanks. I look forward to being on again.
I'll say my goodbyes as well. So we talked a little bit over top of him. So I guess for everybody, for Darren. Oh, there he is. He's
there. He is. Hurry. Go. Say goodbye.
Go.
All right. Love you. See you next week on the Nerd Rundown.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.